This podcast is brought to you by Enlightening Learners Academic Coaching and Tutoring Services.
In this presentation, you're going to learn how to multiply and divide powers. Please make sure you can answer these questions by the end of this presentation. Alright, when we are multiplying powers together, notice that in this example, our bases are alike. When our bases are alike, we're told that we can add the exponents. So we have an example of 3xy raised to the second power. That's 3 times 3 times x times x times y times y. Well, 3 times 3 is 9. This is x and x. Well, the bases are alike, and this is to a power of 1. So essentially it's x to the 1 plus 1. And likewise with our y. It's 1 plus 1. And we can do that because our bases are alike. And 1 plus 1 is 2, so our answer is 9 x to the second y to the second. Okay. Sometimes you'll be asked to raise a power to a power. And the rule is when you're taking a power and raising it to a power, rather than adding, you're multiplying. So let's look at it in terms of an example. We have x to the second power, and we want to raise that to the third power. Essentially what we would do is x to the 2 times 3, which is x to the 6th power. Now this is different from multiplying bases together. So as an example, if I have x to the third times x to the second, my bases are alike, but I'm not raising a power to a power, I'm simply multiplying the bases together. In this example, I would add the two exponents. But when I'm being asked to raise a power to another power, I'm multiplying. Same rule applies with division. But instead of adding or multiplying, we're going to subtract. So we have an example here, 3x to the third divided by x to the second. My bases are alike, which means that I can subtract these. 3x to the third minus 2 becomes 3x to the first power. So remember that when we are multiplying exponents, we were actually adding the exponents together. Well, the same rule applies, but in this case, instead, when we're being asked to divide bases with exponents, I can subtract the exponents if my bases are alike. So we'll have another example here. We'll have 6x to the 4th power divided by 2x to the 2nd power. I can simplify the 6 and the x, the 6 and the 2. I know that 2 can be divided by 2 and 6 can also be divided by 2, giving me a 3 over 1. I'm being asked to divide exponents with like bases, so in that case I'm going to subtract 2 from 4. So it becomes 3 over 1 x to the 4th minus 2, and that can further be simplified to 3x to the 2nd all over 1. Alright, so in this example we have 3x to the 2nd divided by 3 to the 3rd. The bases are identical, So we can go ahead and subtract 3 to the 6 minus 3. I'm subtracting my exponents and I get 3 to the third. Now this can be expanded to 3 times 3 times 3, which is 27. In this example, I'm taking 4 and dividing them by x. Now notice that the bases are not identical. Really, there's a power of 1 to each one of these. I'm taking a power and raising it to a power, so I need to multiply. So this becomes 4, 1 times 2, which is 2, and x 1 times 2, which is also 2, which gives me 4 to the second, or x to the second. 4 to the second can be simplified to 16 over x to the second. That can no longer be simplified anymore. In this example, we have a combination of bases being multiplied together, and we're also raising it to a power. So we're going to take this and we're going to apply the quotient of powers, apply the power of a quotient, and then apply a power to a power. So quotient of powers says that I'm going to take 3 to the third times x to the 4 times 3, because I'm raising a power to a power, and I'm taking a power and raising it to a power, so I've got to multiply these two together. And there's a 1 above this y, so I'm going to multiply the 1 times 3 to get 3. And that can be simplified 3 times to the third power is 27. X to the 12th, because 4 times 3 is 12, over x to the 6th, y to the third. Okay. Going down, this can further be simplified. I'm dividing x to the 12th divided by x to the 6th. Well, this is a like base, so I can subtract those exponents. We leave our 27. X to the 12 divided by 6. And I'm going to leave y to the third at the bottom, because that can't be combined with anything. And this can be simplified to 27. 12 minus 6 is 6. 27x to the 6th over y to the third. 27x to the 6th over y to the third.